Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Mili song that's not from Goblin Slayer because yet again, somehow, for some reason, Mili has decided to release another song. Who allowed them to do this? This is like 3 songs in the same month. I'm pretty sure this is like an unheard of frequency for them. This is a lot all at once. That's not just an outright album, you know? So it's like, Jesus, all right. So this is what the Ripple sees, and I suppose I'm gonna be listening to this today. So without further ado, let's go.
Your eyes, wish I was there to give you the embrace that you deserve. I saw it right.
Okay. I was all vocal because I was like, this is very intense, even for them right off the bat.
You can see your history's remaining.
And a resolution? Okay, a rhythmic shift. Okay, we're adjusting the mood. I thought it was just gonna be a resolution.
The flowers spreading, the flowers singing, the flowers watching. Someday I hope to see.
They're really messing around with the percussion recently. I love that. Of course I'm here for that. Neat layering on the vocals too, with the effects and everything. It's very like the drums especially are very like show tuney, like kind of stage musical in their composition. And now we're back. Ooh, so that chord progression there. Again, a lot of counter rhythms here too. A lot of that recently.
Goodbye, goodbye, please don't miss me. You'll be alright, do not worry.
Oh.
Sometimes I'm nowhere, sometimes I'm everywhere. Not too far, nor too near. And if you look down to your feet,
Okay. An unfair change there.
Through a shadow of me, walking side by side steadily. By the time you are strong, I am nowhere to be found.
Oh man.
I was never around. And if your world is on repeat, I'll love each version of you the same. Hoping one day your lives can be perfectly mundane. Even in a million years,
There we go again.
my ripples
Have another change.
wherever you go.
God. That ostinato there too. And they let it hang. They don't resolve. Those bastards. Okay. This might be a long video. Ooh. All right, Mili might have done it. They might have made my next favorite song of theirs. This was fucking brilliant in so many ways that I cannot begin to get into every single one without making this video like 20 minutes, and I'm not going to do that to you, but I will talk about my favorite aspects. The first one, start from the surface level, the drums. For me, obviously one of my big things, and their drummer is insanely ham with these last couple of songs. The way that the drums are being structured, like I said during the reaction, they almost feel show-tuney in a way, and that's not like the upbeat show-tuney, it's more like the stuff that would be accentual in between the main songs of a musical. It's very musical. The drums themselves have so many different phrasings and voicings throughout the entire track, and again, this is something that's happening more and more in their recent music, and I love it because they're allowing their percussionists to do their thing and play around and add these counter rhythms and everything, and these are the things that make these songs feel so much more full, so much more alive. I mean, their music was great before, but recently especially, just the musicality of it is expanding. They're allowing for more flexibility and more challenge within the song itself. There's more things knocking against each other and making sure that the song itself is telling you why, which is part of that whole writing process and is fucking brilliant. I love it so much. This is such a good song. And then there's a bunch of melodic stuff in here that I'm adoring too. I mean, like I mentioned, the harmonics with the voice in there and the multiple layers of her vocals at that one spot that make it sound like two people are singing. Clever. I love that just as an aesthetic thing, but also just, again, the writing of this and certain passages in here too, certain chord choices, certain ways that they phrase that is just, it's brilliant. It's so intelligent. Like, I feel like I'm sitting in the field that they have on the picture here. There is something that is just out of reach with this song. The way it's written, it feels so dreamlike, yet at the same time, somehow grounded in reality and confusing all at the same time. I don't know how else to explain that. I'm sure you all have your own interpretations of how this song feels, and I'm pretty sure this was another one for Honkai Star Rail, maybe? Just based off the visuals at least. I'm not entirely sure if it is, but it kind of feels like it would be just based on what they were singing about and everything there. It's just, it fits, you know? But again, there's just a lot of stuff in this song that catch me a lot, and one of those being the piano thing that was getting me during the middle, and what they were doing there. They were doing step downs of the chords that they were making these parts out of, and I do love that. I've heard it a few times in a few very emotional pieces before, and one of the songs I've heard something very similar from is actually Porter Robinson. Shocker, if you've been around my channel, a lot of the stuff I bring up for EDM at least is Porter Robinson stuff, just because it's so good. But Fellow Feeling from the World's album. But there's a passage in here in that middle section that I was getting all nerdy about, and it's kind of similar in Fellow Feeling, a little bit different, but either way, in this song it goes like this. And they kind of like step back up to the top and kind of bring more stuff back into there. But what I love about this is the fact that there are chords in here that it's being made out of. So it starts with the G minor here. You get that in there, and then there's this like E flat. This could also be, if you move the one white key down, and that could be this E flat sus, or yeah, I think this would be maybe an A sharp sus. Love that. I mean, like, those notes are all in there, but it really could be anything. And then this one, which is C minor, and it's just, oh, again, that's how they're kind of breaking down those chords. All of those are being utilized in this passage. There's, I mean, that could just, that one again, but also they're starting from there and working their way down and just stepping down it. And like, they're breaking it apart. Like, this is a G minor, but if you were to add that first passage, there's these like little diminished bits in here. There's a little bit of clunkiness to it where like things don't get along, and that's the intelligence behind that. There's a language to that. There's a way that voicing specifically, how they're working down those chords, it makes it feel like somebody's trying to calm you down, to talk to you with that little bit of tension in there to make sure that you stay grounded to the emotion in the song. It's not just bringing you through chords, it's bringing you through an intent of the chord. What that chord is supposed to make you feel, forget about it. We need to be a little bit softer and a little bit more articulate and specific. That's what that's doing for the song. And the reason that that's important and that specific type of phrasing is important is because it shifts from just being a chord that would be a statement to more of like a question. You know, it kind of shifts that personality of the track. And the reason that's important is because if you were just doing chords, if you were just taking like that straight G minor and just using that, that's it has a little bit of tension in there, but it's still a statement, right? When you start to step down on that, that becomes more of a question. It leaves you hanging a little bit longer, and that starts to demand more out of the message of the song, and it gets much more complex from there. And it, especially at the spot where it happens in the song, it adds so much more to what they're trying to say, especially with the lyrics and everything. Again, at that spot, this is a beautiful track for just being fully aware. A lot of Mili's songs, by the way, are very aware of what they're supposed to be, what their message is. They're very, 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 very intentional, basically every single time. But this song really, really hits the nail on the head with that phrasing, the sharing of that musical phrasing versus just the lyrical message. There's so much in there that it's, again, hard to like yap about and not get so deep into it that I never get out of it. And that's just one factor that kind of gets the general point across of what my other parts that I'd be talking about would be saying. They are so intentional about their message in this song, and it feels so emotional and so full, and they're trying to make sure that you stay there for it, that you're present for it. And again, there's a little bit of counter melody stuff happening on top of the counter rhythms that are happening. So there's a bunch of stuff talking over each other in this song. It's almost like an argument, but like a very calm one. It's like an argumentative discussion more than it is like a fight. It's not like they're mad at each other. It's like they're all done. They're tired, but they're both still trying to portray their own thoughts, you know, like the characters in this song. I'm only saying characters because I know while it was all Mili singing, there was that one spot where it like split into two, and I feel like that there's more to that than I really know. But man, they really dig into this one, and I could dig in further. And then it leaves you on a fucking non-resolute high note. Like, you're just like, whoa, and it just settles in, but it doesn't resolve itself. It doesn't finish the thought. It leaves the question in the middle of the air. The conversation that the characters have during this song never actually resolves. Nobody gets closure here, including us, and that's always frustrating, and I talk about that a lot in compositional discussion like this. There's so many things I could go on about with this one, but I do need to shut up. There are so many phrasings and so many ways that this song decides to counterbalance itself. And every single time I was wondering if they were ever going to come back or if they were going to finish a thought. And that one chord that like resolved before they changed the emotion in the song, that shifted my opinion of the piece entirely. And I thought this was going to be one of those songs where like all of their songs basically are somebody making a statement or telling a story, and it's like point A to point B. There's really no question or any other sort of thing on there. It's just recalling a story at best most times. But this one shifted that from that's what it was going to be about to that one chord that I got excited about at the very beginning, where it shifted the energy of the song. And then it went a little bit more minor. It went to those diminished tones, and we had a little bit more clashing, more tension in there. And now it became a discussion instead of just somebody recounting something from the past. It is now an active conversation, and that is always more tense musically. So, God, they really did it for this one. I'm very positive that this is at very least in my top 3 now. I think Mili has officially like knocked down a few other songs, and this one is in that top 3 spot for me for their music. This is a very, 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 very good one in just every way, shape, and form. I mean, sure, my bias shows with the drums, but as I've just tried to articulate to all of you, it is deeper than that. This song is so much more dense than that musically. And if this is like just showcasing where Mili's going to be going in their storytelling and how they're going to be handling composition going forward, Cassie nailed it, Yamato Kasai nailed it, all of the members nailed this one. Everyone who was involved knew their exact positions, knew exactly what they were trying to talk about, and ran with it to the finish line. And they didn't even cross it. They stopped in front of the finish line and they were like, You decide. As frustrating as that is, it really shows how aware they are of the message they're trying to tell. So, damn, I gotta stop talking about this. Thank you all so very much for watching. I'll probably be getting to that Goblin Slayer song I haven't gotten to next time, as long as they're done releasing music. Maybe, we'll see. But with that said, I think I'm done here, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to, though, drop it in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!